we're going to deal with it on that level.
Omar, you have some literature here. It says 7 black women killed by police, 6 of them unarmed. And Talib just spoke about African Americans have power, which I use the word leverage, because leverage is something that the way in which you exercise your power, leverage. So what is the difference between today, in 2015, in terms of talking about Jesus and the celebration of Christmas? What have we lost our way, lost our direction in terms of understanding the difference between business and how we preserve and improve the quality of our lives, African Americans?
You know, in the beginning of American history, Christmas was banned by the government because it was such a raucous holiday that people would go through the streets drunk and naked. And so they banned it. Congress banned it. Today, ain't much changed, except now instead of having a Jesus figure, Jesus has been transplanted, uprooted, and thrown to the wayside, and Santa and Rudolph have taken his place.
Okay.
And so you still got the drunken revelry that you had back in the 1700s. You got it now in 2015. It's not a holiday that people consider a holy day. That's why they call it holiday, because there ain't no holiness in it. And so if you ban the celebration of, really if you go back to the principles of Christmas, if we say that that's Christ's birthday, how do you celebrate a holy man's birthday? Like Dr. Luke was saying, they drink more alcohol at Christmas than they drink on any other day in the year. They so drunk on Christmas, they don't even so up to New Year's. They get drunk on Christmas, they got on Mama's Day, Father's Day, and all the other holidays put together at Christmas time. So the merchants who sell alcohol are happy, and the merchants who sell all the crazy merchandise they get, they're extremely happy. They need to cut that out. That's not how you celebrate a whole, especially if you can call him the Son of God. Yes. How do you celebrate his birthday? You celebrate his birthday by doing the works of Jesus. And if you're not doing his works, you're not celebrating, his birthday. We got to get out of that madness that white folks have tricked us into going into, and go back to the truth path of Christianity, Islam, and the other religions that we profess, and do a true religious celebration of Jesus' day. And if we do that, our pockets will feel better because we have more money. We get in debt at Christmas and we can't pay it off sometime till the middle of summer.
Okay, right. And some of us, our people, are still in debt from the very beginning. Yes. Let me do one thing, then we'll go to the phone lines. The number to call if you want to get on the line, any of you out there, 901-327-2500. Come on in, caller.
Yes, how y'all doing? This is Hakeem Red calling out of California.
We're doing great. Behind that, go ahead.
All right, I was just calling to get y'all brothers' thoughts on, I want to go back to the Million Man March. It was reported that BET lost millions of viewers because of a boycott, because of them not showing the Million Man's March. Just want to get y'all thoughts on that. I know BET is owned by Viacom, who is owned by a 92-year-old Jewish gentleman. So, just want to get y'all thoughts on that and how that can help us by going at the media, who target our culture, our hip-hop, and things like that. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to let y'all tackle that, and I'm going to keep listening.
All right, thank you, son. That's my son.
Congratulations.
Brother Malik, I think you had a burning desire. I saw you going to action before anyone. You jump right on that. So you tackle that for us.
That's just, like the brother said, boycott for us to stay alive. It's just morally wrong to have a network called BET and be owned by a 92-year-old Jewish Caucasian, for one thing.
JET, what it should be.
Yeah, it should be JET, exactly. So, that was definitely the call to action. Also, we're sitting here, we're talking about Christmas. We have a holiday where America has its own holiday coming up before Christmas, Black Friday.
That's right.
That's the first thing that needs to be boycotted.
Yes,
The
sir.
boycott needs to start in the listeners, the people on the panel. It has to start in our minds every day when you leave. The first convenience store you stop at, the first time you think about going to Walmart, Sam's Club, Payless, the mall, you need to be thinking boycott then. You need to be thinking, are these people that I'm spending my money with, are they putting it back into my community?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are they helping me out? Are they helping any of my people out? Or are they just here sucking the life out of my community, taking all of our dollars? I'm going to encourage everybody listening, everybody on the panel, compile a list of black businesses, compile a list of black-owned businesses in your community and start spending your money with them. That's where the boycott starts immediately.
With individually, do we have another caller?
Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes.
I'd like to say this, sir. It has nothing to do with black or white. It's the New World Order. Have you ever heard of that in the Illuminati? It wants to divide and conquer us, black and white.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your call.
New World Order.
New World Order. Omar, let's not do New World Order today.
I just want to respond to the caller
Let's do.
on the Illuminati. That itself is an Illuminati call if you feel like it has nothing to do with black or white. It does. It always do.
Okay. I'm very tempted, but hold on a second. Omar, should African Americans, first of all, have African Americans been indoctrinated, been duped, bamboozled, have been had in terms of our, I'm going to say our thinking, and that we should learn how to think in our best interest? That's what's going on, Omar?
You know, when you look at the mindset of African Americans, and I do a prison ministry in 2 different prisons, but just through time, as I realized that we are not just brainwashed, we're actually brain dead.
Brain dead.
We actually are in a coma, and we don't know what the hell going on around us. And we got to come out of the comatose state that they have put us in and go back to being in the revolution, because we're not going to get anything done until we come back into our right mind. We are not going to be able to function under his leadership. His religion, his economic system, his political system, all those things are anti-black and anti-us. And it's not just anti-us in America, it's anti-us around the earth. Africans cannot stand up until black men in America stand up. And once we rise up in America, African, that day of freedom for them is going to be real.
Okay. Do we have a caller, Isaac?
Yes.
Come on, caller.
Hey, I just wanted to say in answer to the guy that called from California, the reason BET didn't carry it and all the other networks didn't carry the Million Man March this time is because it's not in white people's interest to help free and increase the knowledge and help black people. Our rise is their fall. They understand that. We ones don't understand that.
That's right.
Hey, Alan, I think you said something a while back. African Americans are the only people who do stuff like that.
Yes.
Work against their own interest.
Yes.
And you were saying about Fox News won't carry it because it won't help them at all. But we, on the other hand, this is the kind of stuff we do. Is that right, Al? Go ahead.
That's right. We love Boss's ice. His ice is stolen. That's why we don't buy from each other. That's why when we get $1 million contract, we go to the suburbs. We leave our own neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we just haven't developed. When Farrakhan had the Clean and Fresh program, he could not get a black bank in Chicago or the United States to make him a loan and to handle the account. They wouldn't even handle the account because they told him don't do it. And we know that Johnson or one of the Johnsons, they even ended up closing them up, causing them to go into bankruptcy behind trying to help the Nation of Islam, and that maybe the military can address that. But that's the type of situation we're in, and that's what I just wanted to point out. We've got to do something to save ourselves, but we always cost somebody something. Nothing in the world is free. Even though they might give it to you and you didn't do anything for it, it costs somebody.
Okay.
And that's what we got to realize. Our freedom gonna cost us some money, and it's gonna cost us some work and some effort. And that's why we've got to help this show and other black entities, the Nation of Islam, whoever's doing something black and positive. We've got to put our resources behind them, just like we put all our resources behind the government, the white man, when we buy crack every week, when we buy beer and whiskey every week, and when we go to jail every week, and pay the bondsman and the judge and the prosecutor and the lawyers and the system, when we paying out all this money to keep the white supremacists supreme, we got to do something to help ourselves, but it costs money. The white man can't stay supreme. As one of the people on the show mentioned about the money. They need the money to stay supreme. And we got to spend the money with our black entities so that we can be supreme.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, thank you, Al.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Anytime. Now, listen, I'm hearing something about some key words here. Business, competition, work, and cost. I'm hearing throughout this whole discussion here today. Jeffrey, freedom is not free.
Definitely.
Take any one of those words, or you can take all of them.
It's definitely the cost of freedom. Well, it's definitely not free. It's something that we as individuals have to learn that we have to make sacrifices for. If we don't have money right now to start it off, it's going to be started out by the sacrifices that we make as individuals and the sacrifices that we make as a group. And sometimes we have to sacrifice the things that keep us from coming together. We keep talking about that. We have what we need in order to be able to really be successful with this boycott. Well, you have a boycott, and that's good, but what if we don't have an alternative for a way for the people to spend their money? We're not just going to hold onto our money just for the sake of holding on to our money. That's why we need people to come together and cooperate with one another so we can start buying the resources that we need, including land, raw materials, in order to be innovators again and inventors and be able to direct our people's, the traffic of our money and our economics, because we have those goods and services to provide for our people. We're going to have to once again go back to what you mentioned earlier, trust one another and do this thing together.
Okay, we're down
We need everybody's help.
Absolutely. We have 15 minutes. We're down to 15 minutes and we're up against the clock, so we have to move with the quickness. Lonnie, say something about investing, planning, and thinking.
I think it goes back to what everybody pretty much done said on the panel is learning economics. We're going to have to learn economics and practice economics. And until we get to the point where we can show our people how to practice the economics right, then we're going to continue to spend our money with the oppressor, spend our money with the enemy. So like the brother was just, I believe what he was trying to say, like for instance, we trying to boycott Black Friday and all these upcoming holidays, and we know our people are the #1 consumers. We know we can't hold $1 2 minutes. So we gonna have to find a way for our people to spend that money on things that is, first of all, we're gonna have to not value what the white man value. That's the first thing we're gonna have to do. Because if we value a $90,000, $200,000 car, we're gonna spend our money on a car instead of spending our money on our kids' education or whatever's needed. So first we're gonna have to change the value system. Then once we do that, then we're gonna have to supply what our people are demanding. It's simple as that. So, you know, like the brother said, soaps, hospital, whatever. We're gonna have to supply that. So we're gonna have to put our big thinking tanks together and do it together. Okay. And if we don't do it, we can't expect them to do it for us.
Okay. Here's something I'm gonna see about. Is it true that family planning is the basis for the acquisition of all wealth? I want to go around the table. Brother Malik.
I would definitely agree with that. The family is your first unit of defense. The mother being the first teacher of her child. The father being the first leader of his family. and the child being the first student of the family unit. I would have to agree with you on that.
Let's come on around the table. Talu, this is something that we've talked about time and time again on this show right here. Now, if you slide that, it's going to come from the microphone. Just lift it up. Go ahead, Talu. Help us out with this economics and this plan. While you're at it, say something about the original word of economy, economics. I remember when I was in high school, and you probably do too, and you too, Omar, there was always a course on economics. You had economics, sewing, drafting, all of these basic things, and it seems to be that little at this point. Economics, if the root word, you look at the root word, it simply means home. Then we've said that the acquisition of wealth starts and is based on family planning. What do you say to that?
Yeah. Well, actually, what we should start thinking about business in a way of in a way of trade and commerce.
Okay.
Okay. Economics is another meaning around economics, meaning efficient way of moving supplies, goods, and these type of things. It's an efficient word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Economical.
Yes.
You know, it's an efficient word, right? Mm-hmm. So, but trade and commerce is a spiritual thing. Okay. It's not a physical thing. It's the manifestation of trade and commerce is a physical thing, of course, but the mindset or the spirit of a people determine what their trade and commerce is going to be. So if we don't have a spiritual context to operate from as far as trade and commerce, we can't produce. See, trade and commerce is a thing about production. What are you going to take, an example, economically, what are you going to take a raw material, pardon me, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
How would you take a raw material and produce it into a product that consumers would purchase? Economically, what is the efficient way of doing that? Okay, so if you think it in your mind, somebody wants it. That's the spirituality of it. That's the way the world is made up. Someone think of it, somebody produce it. When it comes to black Americans, the colonizers killed that part in our mind. It's dead. It's not alive at all. And the proof is, look outside. Do you see trade and commerce among us? No. It has been murdered. Just like killer cops are murdering us physically. These people are capable of murdering things that has to do with the upward mobility of black people. They don't want to see it at all. Nowhere. They would like to see all of us gone exactly the way the American natives are gone.
Okay.
Okay, and we need to wake up and take that. Let me say this one thing. That's why the chiefs at the Million Man March, remember those chiefs? It was two tribes of Native American Indian chiefs there.
Yeah, I saw them up on the stage.
Right. They said this, that the Caucasian Europeans invaded America, took the land from us. But you all was here first. Remember? Said we were here first. So the land actually belongs to us and them. But can we think like that? If it's dead in us, we can't. Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. We're down to 9 minutes. And we may have time for one more call, but I've got a very crucial question. And the number to call is 901-327-2500. Omar, Talu said some keywords. He said production, and when I hear production, I think of supply and demand in conjunction with this whole equation of competition in business that I've laid out. So African Americans, in terms of producing and production, what is your idea? How do African Americans go forward, and what is our role here, those of us who are speaking? And you said something, he said it'd been murdered, dead, brain dead, and all that. So Is it repetition that we, the leaders here, have to continue speaking on to our people over and over and over again? It seems so simple to us. Perhaps the complicated part is in the mentality of African Americans. I don't know if I confuse you or not, but do the best you can with that.
Okay, let me mention again. Bright Beginning Learning Academy.
Yes.
The owner is Jamina Paler. Please call her at 901-461-1546. And let's deal with that dimension that you just spoke of,
Okay.
production. The reason we were brought into America
Yes.
from Africa was because of production.
Yes.
We were producing crops and materials and goods for white people. And the reason America is so wealthy is because of production. America was built on the backs of free slave labor. Wall Street was built on the back of free slave labor. The reason they stopped bringing slaves over here was because of production. It was cheaper to breed slaves and have children that you could sell than it was to bring slaves over here and buy them when they got off the ship. Production. It's always been about production. If you hear Dr. Asa Hilliard talk about the space program, he will tell you in his lecture that nearly half of NASA are black people, but they don't take center stage. The chief of the medical staff is black. The man that invented the moon buggy that drove across the moon was a black man from the University of Memphis. They don't tell us that. If our children knew our history, if they knew where we fit into the scheme of things, then we would have production out of the frame. But because we don't know, we go and produce for the white man instead of producing for ourselves.
Okay.
We got to change that dynamics.
It has to be changed.
It has to be changed. But it changed with knowledge of who we are and what we've done in the world.
Remember Marcus Garvey and Jabril Shabazz. Also, do not forget the upcoming event by Manefra Productions on the
November 14th.
November 14th. Doors open at 4. Program starting at 4:30. Miss Dr. Shahrazad Ali
Yes.
talking about African American men and women relationship. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, is it, Jeffrey? I want to go to you. What can you say to African Americans that will get us to change our mindset? I think earlier you said something about sometimes in talking to your people, they seem to, I guess, be disenchanted. Is that sometimes discouraging?
Well, we just gonna keep on going either way. We don't have any choice about that. Of course, people, as we were just saying, Brother Lonnie said, it was some people that we bump into on a daily basis, where this is not even on their radar. They hadn't even thought about some of the issues and topics and questions that we bring up on the Love Power Show. What we always say on the Love Power Show, and I love it, and I totally agree with it, we have to find our way to debrief the people.
Yes.
To debrief them for all that garbage that they got in their mind about who they are and how valuable or the lack of value that they think they have, and make them realize that they have all the potential in the world. Mm-hmm. You see, it's not that we're not producers and we're not inventors. We're already that. We can't give the white man credit for coming up with these technologies, because we're the originators. We're the children of the Creator. So everything that they got it from us. So what we have to do is keep what we have and protect and defend what we have, and use those things that we produce for our betterment, instead of giving it away to those people who just seek to exploit us day in and day out.
We have 4 minutes left, and Lonnie, I think you're going to have the last word. But I'm thinking, lift it and just gently sit it down. I'm thinking about bringing more of the Brother's Keeper in, bringing my daughter in, and mixing in some, spoken word, Brother Malik, some entertainment, because it appears that our people we like to sort of jump up and down and kind of laugh and joke and play and pray and carry on. And so maybe we should come up with a strategy that will start slowly on this end and then speed up as we go and end up achieving a particular goal of being because we're talking about, Lonnie, are we talking about educating African Americans and changing their mindset and coming up with a new set of concepts. You know what we're talking about? We have 2 minutes. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that in 60 seconds?
I
You're
can.
gonna have the last word.
I can.
Okay.
You know, one thing we have to focus on is we all know we have to educate ourselves about self. And,
Oh, go ahead. I like that.
and the thing is, our children are not dumb. They've just been taught the wrong thing, and they've been taught to value the wrong things. For instance, like I was speaking on history or producing, George Washington Carver was a producer. But the history books, what they teach about him is just minuscule information. And the information is really not out there to show our people, yeah, we are creators, we can do this, we done did all that. It's not that, it's to show, from my understanding, is really how they exploited his knowledge for their betterment, you know. So we have to find a way to show our kids that they can produce anything they want to, and we just have to practice, we have to put it in action for them. Because our kids nowadays, we like to see everything, and their imagination is small.
Well, they're visual. These group of children you're talking about are visual learners. We're down to 1 minute. I want to go to Brother Malik. He said something about, lift it, gently set it down. There you go. If we find that there are African Americans who are teaching our children the wrong things, he said that they've been taught the wrong things, then is it our responsibility and our duty to call them out on it, in spite of them being black?
It's definitely our duty. More than anything, it's our duty. It's our duty to take our responsibility in our own hands.
All right. So, thank you for that comment. Omar, we thoroughly enjoyed your presence today.
Yes.
He and we want you to come back.
Yes, sir.
And that's gonna be a wrap for us today. And perhaps we'll get together another time. Thank you for coming.